Leopard. It's not Leopard because it's Messi. Messi with the dime, the dish, the left to the right.
At number 2, this is probably one of the smartest plays we've seen in a while. Now, UNM's Wicked Pro, after finding the spike on A, decides to ult and immediately rotate out after getting the info that the rest of the attackers are mid. What happens next? We'll just watch.
A bit frustrated about that one.
Oh, and this is a great play going around from the smoke from the belt. They have the perfect opportunity. And once that falls, everyone will be revealed. They'll be hit with the decay. This could be huge. Yes. Fisher Row. Caught on the zip line. Wicked gets 2.
Another 4K for Wicked, who is playing out of their mind. The 500 IQ play. You knew that it was a weird angle to have that Viper spit. You knew that they were going to check everywhere inside. And
Alright, number 1, let me break this down for you. Series 3, last man standing. The anchor in Atata, as he somehow manages to bring Illinois Wesleyan back from being in a 1v3 for this series.
Big lead here for Wayne State, but we'll see. You know, Atata's not out of the count just yet, and they might be looking, I mean, they're definitely looking to take away with the 3 stock, but they can't play too risky. Okay, we see the NBA flash there. They're going to make it back to ledge. We also saw a pretty Hail Mary forward smash there at low percent at that. The risk reward on that is a little skewed. Ooh, look at this jab reset into the forward smash. What a beautiful combo.
They just feel confident in their team, and there's nothing more that I love with that. But the mess is already trying to make a statement saying that you should have brought the person who could take the stocks first.
That is amazing right there. We saw the PK fire, multi-hits, goes for the downer. There's an off-stage air dodge. Suddenly, this is looking very bad for Younglink and potentially Wayne State as a whole.
Side, don't let them grab you. You still got to be careful. Ness is a threat no matter where they are on the stage.
Nice rising fair to kind of even that out. Good blade beam to catch the PK fire. Maybe the PK fire is in reaction. There's a climb hazard. This is Ness's time. That forward tilt takes it. And IWU, Illinois Wesleyan Titans, takes it over Wayne State College 2-1 across the set. The final game going 2 stocks to Atata over Chef Louis 0 stocks. Oh my goodness, what a heart wrencher.
Well, there you have it. What a crazy week it was, and honestly, I know it's only going to get even crazier as we move on. Now, the competition is fierce not only just in Division A, but even some of these open division matches are going the distance and coming down to the wire. Now, as always, if you want to stay up to date on everything, give us a follow on Twitter at ECAC_esports, or if you guys want to check out the matches live, we broadcast Mondays and Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, Wednesdays at 7. Once again, a special shout out to our partners at Esports U for providing additional coverage of our matches on their network. But I mean, that's it. That's all I've got for you guys this week. We're only 2 more weeks out after this, and I mean, I'm really curious to see how the playoffs shakes out this year. But don't go anywhere, guys. Come back right here every week, every time. Same day, same time. You guys know how it runs. And don't go anywhere. I'll see you guys next time. Hey guys, KTAD here, and welcome back to another ECAC Top Plays of the Week video. Now, normally I know we like to switch the hosts out every week, and I know there's a roster that we want to bring up to you guys, and don't worry, we've got that coming with some returning faces from last season, as well as hopefully some new ones this time out. But again, you guys got me for 1 more week. It'll be okay. I'll see you guys at the end anyways. Now, in any case, as per the usual, we've got a bunch of incredible collegiate esports action coming at you, with some of the coverage brought to you in partnership by Esports U. So, huge shout out to them. But, I know you guys don't want to hear me talk about it anymore. It's okay. Let's just jump straight into the action. Here you go. Starting us off this week, we've got Gorilla as he power slams the ball into the net.
Don't have a goal to show for it. It means almost nothing. solo play, and how do they get this with power?
At number 7, it's a play of the game from Shiz that has him jumping fearlessly into the enemy team to secure the second map for Savannah
So
College.
rare to see these, especially in a map like this one, where there's a lot of potential.
Fans, we are here. We are alive. Little esports U action coming at you. I'm FBI Tugboat. I'm here with my man Dividing by Zero. Dividing, how are we doing, man? How was your soul feeling today?
Oh, my soul is feeling pretty happy. We got a big weekend of esports ahead of us. We made it. We made it to the weekend, and we are going to have a good time later on this weekend at the South Regional Qualifier. It's going to be a great time, but for now, we head over to the NJCAAE, the greatest acronym in existence in esports, full of, this is actually a really interesting group because it's full of community colleges and two-year colleges that you don't necessarily think about when you think of the best teams in collegiate Overwatch, except, of course, one of the teams playing today, Bryant Stratton College of Virginia.
Yes, exactly. Yes, the Bryant and Stratton Bobcats, some heavy hitters here within the NJCAAE. This is week number 2 of our Overwatch action, and both of these teams are 1-0, thereby, of course, not having a loss yet, but Dividing. And promise you, one of these teams will be leaving here today with an L. One of the other one will be leaving with a W. We'll be playing a little first of 3 action. Technically, ties are capable, so technically a first of 3, not a best of 3, whatever. We'll be getting that action here started in just a little bit. I do believe we already got con from our first map, Dividing. Is that correct?
That is correct. We got Lijiang Tower to start off. I think a fantastic map to start off on. Now, we do listen. With the release of Overwatch 2, there is something to be said about the change in strategy that comes with the Overwatch 2 because Lijiang Tower is now played in the daytime. So by doing so, you got to make sure you play some characters so you don't get the sun in your eyes anymore. You got to make sure because that can be blinding. But no, in all seriousness, there is a lot that has changed in Overwatch 2. If you're just joining us for the first time, we are now 5v5 instead of 6v6. Only one tank along with 2 DPS and 2 supports. It does change the dynamic of the game dramatically, not having 2 massive damage soaking tanks on your team. Only having one, it makes it a lot easier for the other team to potentially get around that tank, get some damage in on the squishier DPS or supports. It has opened up a lot more abilities for these individual plays, and I'm going to be looking at the DPS of Bryant Stratton to pop off Cyber manually. These guys went off in the NACE Star League Overwatch 1 Final Showdown, the last NACE Star League event before Overwatch 2 came out, came in the top 4, beating teams like UT Dallas, teams like Ohio State. They are a huge powerhouse in this NJCAAE. Let's see what Bergen has for them as they come out here on Night Market.
Yes, the first of the 3 maps, possibly, we're going to have manually here on that Sojourn. We were talking pre-call about just how strong this player can be, or this hero can be. A lot of damage over across the middle right now. Mostly just kind of hand-holding right here and seeing what's up. First date status. No one wants to jump into things too quickly, right? That's how you get hurt, Dividing. That's how you get hurt. We're sitting on the outside right here. Is Brian and Stratton going to be taking the first right here and then sending Arissa right down the middle, plus Price all deleted. Nikki G Sus going to be taken out right there. And correct me if I'm wrong, that's a full team kill starting off with Bryant and Stratton.
The team kill gongs. Affirm your suspicion, Tugboat, as that was a fantastic play from Jimical and Krim, using the Lucio speed boost to push the Arisa forward with the additional speed boost that comes with the Javelin spin. That big tank came at Bergen CC just too quickly for them to deal with. However, in this next fight, well, Broken Bottle goes down immediately, and there are those railgun shots from the Sojourn that are so incredibly powerful as now Bryant and Stratton continue to push forward.
Yeah, not much of a team fight right here as Krim just literally pushes forward, like you said, helpful with the spin, helpful with the speed boost. That's Jimical, not cynical, but Jimical, going to be able to be setting those up. Only 25 percentage points, which just tells us that Jimical has been speed boosting a whole lot. Prota over here on the Kiriko has been doing the vast majority of these heals. Back to the middle manually now with ultimate on board, but it's going to be Price now just really giving the business. Crim pushes in way too far and is going to get the business. Now Cyber manually both dropping the DPS ultimates here for the Brian and Stratton squad. And that's going to be easy peasy cleanups for the rest of the Brian and Stratton squad to get this one going. Lucifer now over on the Reinhardt here, dividing out.
Yeah, as long as Lucifer is going to be able to stay up here, there is an opportunity for Bergen. They do have the spawn advantage where Brian and Stratton is playing up so far, and they did use several ultimates in that last fight, so now they can push back in with a full 5 quicker. Then Brian and Stratton can get their full 5 back, and they're coming up on a couple ultimates. That Transcendence from Plus will be up in a minute. That's massive.
There's the Proto, that Rico ultimate. Now, a great job by Bergen, just kind of avoid this one. Cyber giving the business onto this Mercy onto the other side. Nikki is going to be back on here after Plus now pulls this Transcendence. I'd say that Bergen probably has an edge right here, especially after the Zenyatta ultimate done, but just left it. Cyber almost takes that self right there, but as we know, the Shimada brothers can climb vertically. Last little bit right here is Cyber trying to give the business onto the Soldier 76, and Price now going to come through, drop the healing. Here comes the aimbot. That's still not going to be enough as Jimical leads the charge yet again with that speed boost. 100-0 for Brighton and Stratton in map number 1 of Lijiang Tower.
And that was just Brighton Stratton taking the advantage on that first map. That first fight was really the best shot that Bergen had throughout that entire map, and they got taken out very quickly thanks to a speed-boosted Orisa taking up all the space all at once. And after that, Brighton and Stratton were able to use the snowball of winning that first fight to get their ultimates up quicker and have those powerful abilities to keep Bergen locked up on their half of the map. But now, as we head over onto, I believe, Gardens, it is the most open map of the 3. There's going to be a lot more room for Bergen to maneuver. And I think Broken Bottle on this Echo is going to be very happy about that. There's going to be a lot of room to potentially lay down some shots into the mostly earthbound members of Brighton Stratton.
Yeah, so no Pharaohs on the other side. No real, I mean, what they say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Brighton Stratton really taking that one too hard. Crim just bullying their way across bridge right here with that Fortify as well. Not going to really have to worry too much about an Olympic tosser here for Crim. These javelins have been absolutely brutal thus far. There's another one.
Oh my gosh.
Easy peasy. Mincemeat.
Yeah, actually crazy. This Orisa rework is so much fun. Obviously, if you're just joining us from Overwatch 1, Orisa looks very different.
Very different, yeah.
Now a javelin-wielding robot of death. Before it was very much a, get behind my shield and I'll protect you. But now Orisa's decided best defense is a good offense, and Crim already halfway up to that new ultimate Terra Surge.
Would it be fair to say that Orisa is now in her villain arc?
I think she's still on the side of good here, but a lot more violent.
Exactly. So good violence. Got it. 27 seconds here for Bryant and Stratton as Crim does exactly what they need to up front. And perhaps they've kind of co-opted the new phrase. You know, spin to win used to be for our Wrecking Ball characters. Perhaps the spin to win is in reference more so now to this ability right here. Crim doing everything in a bag of chips. We'll get a flash onto our damage leaderboards if possible and try and see just how much damage Crim has, because I think that's going to be rivaling even manually at this point.
Yeah, Crim has just been walking around completely uncontested so far this map. Lucifer out of mech, which means there is no tank on the other side, really, to try and soak up some of the damage. And here comes the Terra Surge. Did it get anyone? I don't think it did. I think tried to lure someone into the corner. Didn't quite end up happening, but the pressure has done the job here, Tugboat. Brian Stratton, for the second round, have been pushing up towards the spawn point of Virgin. They do have to back up now that the Valkyrie has been used from Nikki. But other than that, Brian Stratton's still in a very strong position, especially with those railgun shots getting hit.
I was just about to say, Price is the best opportunity for this Orisa to get dropped, especially given that Price is about on 90 as of right now. Back to the middle. A good job. There you go. There's the support from Lucifer onto Price. Price a hair's breadth away from that, but then Lucifer just, sacrifices the body, and that's probably going to yield too much for Bergen to be able to come forth and get anything but a barely double-digit point total for kind of consolation prize. It's 11% on the other side. Jimical just kind of hunts down this Mercy, and as a Lucio main myself, I know it's gotta feel good. An easy 2-0 victory for the side. Bryant and Stratton.
You know, it's nothing against Bergen. As far as I can tell, they are a new team to NJCAAE this year. And I think that getting off to a 1-0 start to the season is very impressive for a new team. It's just so tough when you have to play against a team like Bryant and Stratton. This is the team that won this league last year. There is a pretty significant gap between the Bobcats and everyone else who played against them last year. I'd love to know more about their secret and how they have found such incredible talent, but they are at the top for a reason, as you saw there by that Lijiang Tower map. It was, I think it was 100-0 the first time around. It wasn't quite 100-0 because there managed to be a back cap on the side of Bergen that got them about 10-ish%, but Bryant and Stratton were in full control the whole time.
A consolation prize a little bit on the other side, but you just put it perfectly. Not being too negative here or nothing like that, but there is one team who is wholeheartedly in control of this game when you talk about pacing, speed, everything else. Foot on the pedal, cruise control on, whatever driving analogies you want to use right here. That was Bryant and Stratton, that was the Bulldogs, and that was them all day on Lijiang Tower. Keys to victory here for game number 2. I think the most obvious answer is just simply shutting down Grim, right? Shutting down the Orisa main tank.
Yeah,
it's not main tank anymore, just tank, right?
Yeah, just the tank. You're the main tank and the off tank. You're the entire front line, pretty much. And especially when you're playing the Orisa. In that first map, Krim was able to, like I said, just basically run around on Orisa completely uncontested, was able to utilize the aggression that you get from those javelin spins that both pushes back your opponents and also lets you move faster. When you combine that with the Lucio speed boost, you are just zooming around on that Orisa, and it gave Bryant and Stratton so much room to work. It allowed their DPS to pop off. You saw some nice railgun headshots going in. It really denied the space and the opportunity from the Bergen squad. So you got to try and figure out how to surround and take out that tank, or try and match that aggression with your own to try and take out Bryant and Stratton's supports faster than yours go down, honestly.
I think that, okay, so this part can't be ignored as well. Time used to be Overwatch 1, right? The only thing that you could do to influence, or to positively influence the speed of a teammate outside of Lucio's speed boost, of course, was the Ananana boost, and obviously that is no more. Now here within the great game of Overwatch, Junker Queen, I guess, has her abilities. You have some Orisa abilities. You obviously have the Kiriko ultimate, and you have Lucio's speed boost. This is a Bryant and Stratton squad that is running Orisa, that is running Lucio, and that is running Kiriko. Even when they didn't necessarily need any other ultimates, the Kiriko ultimate was simply enough for them to get the speed boost out, to get the healing out, and to get those cooldowns on lower, because at the end of the day, I mean, even just a single Kiriko on the other side just pouring in damage constantly, especially onto Orisa, who has the Fortify, and then you throw in Kiriko's invincibility ability and vulnerability ability, then it's just like, well, this is just a really long, slow burn. Like, on face value, it's, well, just get 600 damage, right? Maybe get a little bit more than that, given Orisa's Fortify ability and whatnot, but it's just like this. But then you have, like, all of these steps you have to go through after that, and then, of course, you throw a Lucio sound barrier on the other side. This is just a Bryant and Stratton squad that knows exactly how to pair together heroes.
Yeah, and they have paired together a composition that allows them to go incredibly aggressive. I think you wrapped it up very perfectly. The fact that they have all these characters that allow them to have these speed boosts, it allows them to jump on top of the Bergen team without them being able to really set up. So now that they have faced this pressure, now that they know how Bryant and Stratton want to play, my question for Bergen is, how can they adjust? Are they going to be able to set up their own fights? Are they going to be able to up the pace, or try and kind of sidestep the initial push from the Bryant and Stratton squad in order to give themselves enough time to set up their own fights? And if you let Bryant and Stratton set the pace throughout this entire series, well, it's going to end up being a fairly short one, ladies and gentlemen. So let's see if Virgin has a little more on this time around. And immediately, if this is what you're going with, Soldier 76 is something we didn't see from them the first time around. A very individual character is able to run around the map, able to reposition very quickly, and has a self-heal. So I think a pretty solid position to try and kind of get out of the way of those initial pushes from Bryant and Stratton.
Hit scans, and hit scans. Cyber over here on the Cassidy, manually. Sojourn Sojourn for Broken Bottle. Price at Soldier 76, as well as Nikki. Gonna have, again, hit scans, and hit scans. Crim on over to the Doomfist, so I think it's fair to say a surprising pick. Not exactly meta right now.
Oh, no, absolutely not meta.
Broken
Very
Bottle
much a
Flash
high-risk, high-reward pick. You can either get 3 kills a fight with Doomfist, or you get caught out and killed immediately.
Well, there's a solid little bit of start as Plus does fall. Lucifer as well. Price falls in the end, and Crim looks to start this onslaught. They were showing a lot of prominence over there on the Orisa earlier. No reason to believe that's not going to continue, even though it's a different tank hero.
Yeah, so now this is really set the tone here for Bryant and Stratton. They're going to play really aggressively with this Doomfist and try and take a lot of room with those seismic slams. You really got to try and also try and deal with Cybers when getting pick after pick with this Cassidy. That revolver does massive damage if you're able to hit all those shots, and so far, it's not missing.
No, it is not. No, it is not. Precise. Yeah, no, excuse me. Price, sorry, follows as well. Plus does not get dropped. I do like the Winston play just simply because Winston can get bullied around a lot less by Crim. There's a nice purple here, obviously a little bit of shields on the other side as members of Bryant and Stratton forced to kind of come back for a little bit. They're still pushing. That's a nasty sleep on the Cyber. Gets a little bit of body block action there on the other side. And now Nikki with ultimate for the first time all on this side.
Yeah, you do have the Winston on the other side. That could give you a lot of potential space, and in fact, that is going to be the where it goes on to. It's the nano boosted Winston versus the Kirika ultimate, the Kitsune Rush, and it seems like the Kitsune Rush is going to come out on top this time around. I mean, the Winston was nanoed up, Tugboat, and was doing a decent amount of damage. Brian Stratton just ran right past him and just decided to take out all the other members of the team, and now here they come up to 100 meters. If they win this fight, they might finish this map in under 3 minutes. It would be an absolute speed run of New Queen Street.
Yeah, that's fair. Like Mr. Miyagi said, the best block is simply not be there. That's exactly the game plan that they utilize against Nano Boosted Winston. A Nano Boosted always seems to last just a little bit too short. Manual is not one but two. Cyber finds one as well. That's going to be both DPS, both healers, and now the tank deleted out. Yeah, I'm sorry guys, but this is just simply a Brian and Stratton game all the way through. Game number 2 is no exception.
Yeah, unfortunately, we set up the start of the game by saying, hey, let's see if Virgin are going to be able to find a way to play with or play around the aggression from Bryant and Stratton. The result from game 2 seems to be so far they have not quite gotten there. They were just bullied around by the Bryant and Stratton squad that entire time, and I mean, the score is in itself. I don't think Virgin had control of the push bot at all throughout that entire map. It was just Bryant and Stratton pushing it forward and forward and forward until they couldn't push it forward no more.
Yeah, that robot will end at the bottom of those tracks right there, not like a train off its rails and whatnot, right? Yeah, guys, if it seems like we're just kind of beating the same drum right here, once again, we are literally looking at a Brighton and Stratton squad that is the best within the NJCAAE. Bergen is no pushover squad by any means. They're just being made to look like that because, again, they are facing the best of the best. The cream of the crop, they have risen to the top if you're talking about the Brighton and Stratton Bobcats as of right now. So, map number 3, possibly a short one, starting in just a little bit. Short break, we'll be back with you guys in just a minute.
Willing to make a complete change if necessary, and we didn't really see that for the side effect.
Shh. We've got to be a bit sneaky here as Matthew's got the huge flank to get the 3K and secure the round.
That's a massive frag. They know Jet is heaven. Smokes are going to come down. Bomb is down in that corner of heaven. And now Nova's in a very tricky situation. She's going to ult out. Doesn't have a great amount of visibility as she plays back now. Oh, Matthew with a 3K. That round itself was on the brink of defeat for LC.
Don't get turned around here as his Spaniard pulls the will over Michael's eyes to send him right off the stage.
This is a very dangerous opportunity here.
Yeah, looking for the guard, a beautiful sky smash, and I mean, no, what a beautiful, what a beautiful reflector! Stopping the recovery from being able to come back on, forcing this into one stock, and we've seen what is.
In our top half, it's Mr. Nene as he whips and does the dance with 3 different members of LIU to clutch up the round.
He's the last alive, granted. He's got a Vandal. He makes the trade, now a one-on-one. Can he find it? Doesn't have the intel. If he does Heaven, he might understand that he's hell. First shock dart will come out. He knows he's there now. First shot's coming out. He still doesn't have all the intel. He looks to peek.
He gets the kill.
Third kill, Mr. Nene. Gonna close out that round for LC.
You can never count out James Madison so long as Impulse is lurking in the wings with this crazy Death Blossom.
They were going to deny the Deadeye. Unfortunately, they just missed the timing on that defense matrix. And now Georgia State once again in control here. Oh, but Impulse comes in
beautiful
with
ultimate
the Death
from Reaper,
Blossom.
including the hack from Sombra to get a wrist.
In our runner-up, Bryce, in a disadvantage, finds a way to just dunk on pace to take St. Joseph's to the final series.
What a play there. Great usage of that Gordo. We've seen it be so effective thus far. Bryce really wants to take this to game number 3. Great roll. Oh, great usage.
You know, I can't even believe that we were not believing in this DDD.
Yeah, oh my god.
Hello and welcome back, Overwatch fans. We're here. We are looking at the last shot here for the Bergen Community College squad. This is the National Junior College Athletic Association, esports-wise, E on the end right there. And we're just, once again, looking at Brian and Stratton that are some of the best of the best. Bergen is going to have their work cut out for them in a map number 3 if they're going to push this to extra time dividing.
Yep, have we gotten the map pick? I feel like I have.
Kings Row.
Okay, it is Kings Row. Kings Row.
Favorite.
The Scrims Row. Yeah, I think that's probably where you're probably most comfortable as a team. Everyone plays Kings Row as much as possible during scrims. It allows your main tanks to really get out all their aggression because it is a very close range map. You're able to use maybe their main tank is more of a Reinhardt player. You get to swing those hammers around and try and take space that way. As now, Brian Stratton, I mean, when you're against a team like this, it really just comes down to the mental fortitude if you're Virgin. Can you keep your heads up, say, hey guys, we just got to find a way in, all right? You got to find a comp, a hero, something that has any sort of success, and time is running out to do so. Brighton Stratton are going to start off here on the attack. Virgin on the defense. They're going to go back to this Echo composition that they've been playing a decent amount throughout the series. Broken Bottle and Nikki trying to make that airborne DPS work, and it can be very lethal if you are able to do it without pressure. The problem has been manually on this Sojourn, has been hitting these railgun shots and putting a ton of pressure onto that Echo player. Maybe the difference will be the Reinhardt here. Lucifer, maybe I was correct. Maybe this is more of a Reinhardt player able to go back to their main.
Yeah, I mean, this is not a bad map for... I mean, Scrims Row has been played with a Reinhardt for quite a while for a reason. I don't dislike the Reinhardt pick, and this is, at the end of the day, is something that Bergen needs to look at a little bit differently. Shotguns up close with a Reinhardt swing is going to lose 9 times out of 10. Wise decision there for Lucifer to come on out at that one. Did really good job. Never mind, excuse me. Krim does not get the support that they anticipated by any means. Now, Nikki has that res as well, but Broken Bottle, Price both deleted. They're going to have one of their DPS players here back in just a little bit, as Plus gets damage boost through this one. Not going to matter. Manually finding heads left, right, and center. Over the side, Jimical now providing a lot of pressure right now as Lucifer gets the last little bit of that shield deleted, and that's Jimical actually doing battle right now. Finds a little bit of damage, but not going to matter. Brian and Stratton all over point A. Bergen's have to come back at this one very quickly if they want to do anything but give up point A.
I mean, let's start off with the positive for Bergen. You started off with a pretty good start in that fight because you were able to force Krim into that little side hotel room, and when you're in that kind of situation, the Reinhardt is always going to have the advantage in that close range situation to swinging away with that hammer. But when that happened, it allowed players like Jimical and Manually to set up on side positions and just take you guys out. You can't be fighting a one-front war here if you're Burgeon, because Bryant and Stratton are going to find ways to get around to the side, get around to the back, and take you out where you are your weakest. But again, Cyber going down early is a good start for Burgeon.
Grim up against the Reinhardt with support there. That time they're going to beat Blucifer out on the front field right here. Bergen now on the back foot as manually takes down Plus on the way out. And the defense once again forced to come back.
Yeah, Jibbical, oh my goodness. It is all Zenyatta in the kill feed. And when you got a third DPS going on with those Zenyatas hitting those orbs, there is not a ton you can do about it if you're Burgeon. You do have a couple of ultimates coming up. The Valkyrie from Nikki, the Deadeye from Bryce, but you do have the Overclock from Manually that has been on point so far this series. And look at how much space that Bryant and Stratton are taking up. Burgeon just doesn't have a way to deal with this, right? The card is barely halfway through point B, and yet here's Crim basically pushing up into Burgeon's spawn.
Yeah, so Burgeon actually, I think, kind of realized that Crim was the last line of defense up, or the front line of defense, excuse me, up here. Ryan and Stratton, a glowing squad. Crim 10 points away from their ultimate, and that's going to mean that all 5 of them are going to have ultimate. Bergen on the other side has plenty to work with here, but what I'm really looking for is Broken Bottle to get that ultimate up, try and get a copy, probably onto this Kuriko or onto this Junker Queen. Crim across the middle, a well-timed Transcendence is going to keep Price alive. That's a nice dash through the middle, but the last little bit, there's a purple, and Blucifer gets taken out as Crim just simply slims their focus down, knows the purple is going. You can't do no healing, even Transcendence-wise, through that anti-grenade.
Anna's not the only one who can apply that anti-heal effect anymore. Junker Queen is now in the building, and that ultimate is such an amazing Transcendence counter. I mean, once that happened, there was absolutely nothing that you could do. Cyber, once again, going down early, though, is going to allow Burgeon to push up here. The duplicate from Broken Bottles coming up in just a moment could potentially use that to turn the tides.
Yeah, a lot of ultimates dropped here from Bergen on the way in, but Price falls to Manually. A little DPS on DPS action, and Brian Stratton's going to win this one. Rolling Death Ball hath been initiated here, dividing team kill for against Bergen as Brian Stratton spitting distance away from putting this payload away.
Jimmical also at the Transcendence, so even if this duplicate puts a lot of pressure onto Bryant and Stratton, that Zenyatta is going to have the ability to just completely nullify all of that pressure. Manually takes down Broken Bottle just as the duplicate comes on. Oh, that's brutal.
Grim right here, a lot of damage back and forth. The last little bit, 4.5 meters here for Bergen, and they're just simply kept out for a couple of seconds until Jimmical does pull that Transcendence. Another Junker Queen ultimate across the middle that yields purple on everybody in 3 minutes. 40 seconds for Bryant and Stratton's offense.
It just felt like Burgeon, when I was looking at their composition, they were running a Zenyatta Mercy defense support line. That is a fairly low amount of healing, a fairly low amount of support. When you're playing that kind of situation, you really want to play around the Discord orbs and the damage boost from the Mercy to really power up your tank, power up your DPS, and do a lot of damage and pressure in the early fight. And Burgeon was able to do that. They got early picks actually several times in those fights against Bryant and Stratton, but the problem was, as the fights continued to progress and Bryant and Stratton were able to utilize the more consistent healing that they got from their supports, Lucifer just did not have enough healing to be able to stand up to the pressure of Bryant and Stratton. And when it came to those mid-late fight situations, they just ended up losing steam more often than not. So now Bryant and Stratton, one defense away from taking the 3-0 victory in this series. They're going to go right back, of course, to that Junker Queen, and hey, Crim made it look good on the attack, so why not stick with it?
Exactly. That was Orisa, how they started off on the Lijiang Tower. That was a clean victory here. A little bit more flack caught on the King's Row format, but Crim still looking very, very confident here. On the other side, I love this Bergen look. I'm not going to lie. Sojourn, just, better soldier for a reason. Nikki G over here with the Broken Bottle Pharaoh. I really think could really pop off, but there's 2 DPS. There are hit scans on the other side. Really have to see how this one, how this one goes down. Crim playing the perfect position up front, that tank position. Shots come on the left side. A little bit lower right there, but both teams just kind of feeling each other out for right now as Manually finishes up Cyber's kill. super aggression right now. Just kind of beating feet up to the front as Price falls as well. This is Brighton and Stratton just looking for a little bit of extra ultimate charge.
Yeah, this is looking tough for Bergen. Immediately forced back into their own spawn here. You're really looking for Broken Bottle when you're playing this for Mercy Comp to be able to put pressure on the Brighton Stratton, force them to use defensive abilities to keep themselves alive and give yourself space. It's just not happening. Broken Bottle only 27% to the barrage, showing that you really haven't had that much damage yet.
Crim getting so aggressive onto this main support right now, plus Dusted. Nikki G taken out in the back. That's a little bit of damage on, that's a little bit of, on a point right now. A little bit of progress as Bergen doing what they need to. That stopped in its tracks. No ultimates pulled here for Brighton and Stratton, and we're at 2.5 minutes, but a single tick of progress up for Bergen.
Yeah, and that does put a little bit more pressure on the Brighton Stratton. You can't be pushing super aggressive now, because Bergen has shown that, you know, they understand the objective of the game. They know they got to get onto the point itself in order to take progress. That's exactly where Broken Bottle was going.
Oh man, Brighton and Stratton popping up from the woodworks as well. They've been doing such a great job of kind of having these hidden pushes. Previously it was through the Alderworth. This time it's on kind of the other side, closer to our health pack. Once again, this Mercy just getting chased down and dusted in the back after Bergen gets a little bit of progress onto the second tick, but nothing nothing pushing this on, nothing into getting second tick, which of course, again, at 66% is the ideal.
That was a well-timed coalescence from Proda, really fortifying that push on Brighton Stratton when Bergen really tried to take the initiative. They tried to take the tempo, and I have to give them props for that, understanding that they have to kind of be the ones to set the pace of the fights, but as they try and put pressure on the point, once again, they have to play into this tack visor from Cyber. There's two running after the third, and it's probably going to be another very quick fight win here for Brighton Stratton. Now just a minute 20 left on the clock, and Bergen's still looking for answers.
I gotta say, I wanted to see Nikki G Sus take down Cyber on the outside. I wanted to see Cyber's healing pad just be on cooldown and then realize he'd bitten off a little bit more than they could chew, maybe. And then, you know, not that Nikki probably would have lived through it, but still would have loved to see it. Bergen looking at close to last fight territory. The pincher action here from Brian and Stratton. The multi looks as Plus does fall across the middle. Crim having their number and everything about it. Just a hair's breadth away from a second tick right now as Broken Bottle falls to another well-placed headshot up top. This one coming from the side of Cyber. Now Lucifer taken out of tank form and dusted. Still not on the second point right now. Still not on the second tick, and Crim just gets aggressive and starts pushing them across the middle. Another couple picks right here, 30 seconds, and the last Virgin offense coming in just a couple of seconds here, dividing.
That it was 0.2% away from the side of Virgin of getting that second permanent tick of progress, but they have to just watch as it slowly goes back down. And yep, this is the last chance. 20 seconds left for Virgin. They do have the Transcendence coming up, and a nice hack on the Genital is going to take the Zenyatta down.
Yeah, and so no Transcendence for Brian and Stratton coming into this one. The Crim ultimate does get pulled out right here, so a little bit of faster play as there's the Transcendence trying to stop them in their tracks as Lucifer takes down the main support right here. Jimical, the only last line of defense for healing, and this is Bergen with a solid shot right now. Plus does get dropped in the middle as Crim just doing battle with this Winston across the middle, but it is all for naught. Even without the main support, the Transcendence for Jimical is held just crucially at enough time. That's OT started. Alucio tried to try and get this across, and that's not going to happen. That's going to be Brian and Stratton in 3.
And, I mean, if you asked me what I thought the result of this match would be going in, I would say it would probably be a 3-0 for Brighton Stratton, and that's, of course, no insult to Bergen. I'm sure a solid squad in their own right, but we saw in this match just why this team is so feared in the NJCAAE. They are so strong. Their entire roster is incredibly well put together. They're all very individually skilled. They communicate well, so they play around each other's abilities very well. It is very difficult for a new team to be able to stand up with a team as skilled as Brian and Stratton. So I want to give a shout out to Bergen, who it did seem like tried, especially in that third map, who did try to take some aggressive pushes, try and set the tempo of the fights, but Brighton Stratton were just able to outdo them in that regard on King's Row. I'm excited to see how Virgin continues to progress throughout the season, but for now, it is still Brighton Stratton as the top dogs, or I guess in this case, the top cats.
Hey, there you go, there you go. This battle of dogs and cats going to be won by the cats this time. Our feline friends take another one here. We'll be having a little interview action coming up here in just a little bit, but just talking a little bit about this match before we get that one started here, dividing. I mean, you kind of touched on it. I think that Bergen had individual chances. And even they took picks through here, but it was just kind of the coordination after that, especially on this third map. Once Brian and Stratton is able to just continuously push from two different places, I call it the pincher movement within there, right? They have a DPS and a healer on either side with a tank just kind of foisting their way across the middle, and that simple split attention right there, especially given we were talking about the DPS over here. That was Cyber, and that was manually for Brighton and Stratton. I mean, every time we checked out the kill field, there was some kind of headshot that they were landing, whether that was on a Pharaoh, whether that was on a support player, something. Brighton and Stratton's DPS kind of kept this one alive. And even through it, right, even with Proto getting taken out in the Moira like a little bit later there, kind of punished for their aggression across this first choke point, Jimical just simply held on to Transcendence. And it wasn't like oh, my other support fell, now I pull Transcendence immediately. Now it's just like, oh, that's on the docket. I need to know that this is coming, especially once, I think at that point we were looking like 26 or 25 seconds or something like that for Bergen's push. So it's just like, well, I only need it for a little while, right? But that is that is all she wrote there for Brian and Stratton. They're on another run right here in the NJCAAE for a reason. Once again, one of the best teams here within very short break. We'll be back with a little interview action here for Esports U in just a little bit, guys.
This is exactly the pick they needed.
Oh man, huge. Oh my goodness, this is massive.
You can win this right here.
Oh my god! Oh, Christ!
And at number 1, it's Captain Insano off the top rope to suplex Grand Valley onto the map.
Oh my word, more than just a chance. They're going to give themselves a goal. Monstrous 50-50 in the air. Wayne State will be the first to strike.
I lost track of the amount of times he...
All right, and that is it. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but the action this season is really heating up, and it has me super excited to see how these teams shape up come playoffs. Now, if you guys want to catch all of the action live, make sure to follow us on Twitch at ECAC_esports. We stream Monday through Wednesday, either on 8 p.m. or 7 p.m. Eastern. Or if you want to stay up to date with everything that's going on with Collegiate Esports, give us a follow on Twitter as well at ECAC_esports. Trust me, guys, we've been posting a lot more this season as to when we go live, what the matchup is, how we're looking, and all of that. You don't want to miss it. But if you also want to give our partner a shout out, if you want to show them some love, make sure to follow them on Twitch at twitch.tv/esportsu. As always, it's been a blast, but I'm sure we'll have even more to talk about next week with a new set of plays, a new host, and all of that comes with these videos. But as I said, guys, I've been KTAD. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you next time.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Collegiate Esport Commissioners Cup. I am Septilence, and I get a really neat opportunity here. We get to interview Burns from E United. Burns, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. We're on day 2 of the event. It's been a fantastic one. I ran into you yesterday, but we were running around like chickens with our heads off, and it has been, I mean, how has your time been here? What has this event kind of been like?
Yeah, it's great. I just love being in a passion pit, seeing all the college kids go at it. Reminds me of like an old school MLG event almost, but being like in the epicenter of the passion pit, seeing Rocket League, Valorant, Overwatch, and Smash, just it's amazing to see all of these schools compete against each other and get a shot to play on this main stage.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And tell us a little bit about kind of what is E United, right? Because we know that you're here, we know you're here to represent them, but for the people that don't know, what is E United?
Yeah, E United was founded in 2016. We're a professional esports organization. We've been in League of Legends, Overwatch, all the way to Battle Right, I think it was called back in the day. Right now in 2022, we are in Gears of War, Halo, Rocket League, PUBG, and announcing a new title tomorrow. I know, get the small intel here. So it's a lot of fun. I went pro in Call of Duty when I was younger. I ended up playing my last event under E United, switched in 2016, and I've been the GM ever since. So it's a true blessing to be able to stay with an organization for as long as I have, and we love giving back to the collegiate community. I actually graduated from Full Sail in 2013.
I was a little confused about the jersey. I was a little...
Yeah, so the Full Sail boys are out of the tournament, unfortunately, but I decided I would rep them today in their honor. Yeah, it's just great. I love working with younger individuals who are trying to find their path in esports, and these college kids are really showing what they're all about.
Yeah, so to be kind of an ex-pro player, where a collegiate scene at the time didn't exist, especially not to the scale right now, what is it like to see such high levels of success, such high levels of support for something that you weren't able to kind of get as much support in at the time, something that was looked down on a lot more?
Yeah, I'm extremely jealous. That's all I can say. Full Sail started their program in 2017. When I was there in 2011 and 12, it was just a bunch of nerds running around, just creating their own clubs. I was still striving to go pro, but now you have these opportunities to play on main stage, play in front of thousands of people. We just had locals back in the day. You would show up and play for like $200, $100. It was like lunch money. Now these kids are playing for scholarships. They're playing for fame. They could pop off here and end up getting a sponsor for $10,000 or $20,000 from somebody. So the opportunities are just endless at the moment, and I think it's just great that you basically can prove yourself and make anything happen right now.
It's instead of kind of what you had gone through, being in college and also trying to go pro, these kids can try to go pro while being in college. It's hand in hand instead of those two kind of battling kind of matchups. So if somebody's trying to go pro, right, they're like, Burns, I want to be you one day. I want to be the GM of E United one day. What is that first step to really take it from a hobby to a passion, to a job?
Yeah, I think I've told this story a lot, but it's really, I thought about going pro every night before I went to bed. Like, I lived and breathed Call of Duty for years. It was my life. I had to skip dinner sometimes. I had to skip family functions, and my family didn't really understand, but it was what I wanted to do, and it all worked out. But at the end of the day, you always need to kind of be organized. You have to have the ability to not put all of your eggs in one basket. So even though it worked out for me, there are so many opportunities in esports. There's being a caster or interviewing people. There's working in production. There's helping people get waters. Like, literally, there are so many opportunities. So, oh, this crowd's awesome.
They're going crazy, dude. They stayed on their last life right now.
Off subject, Smash, regardless if it's middle school, high school, college, it pops off all the time. I love it.
Well, Burns, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you, guys.
Well, my name is Darian Wheeler. I'm a junior at Cornell College, and I play for the Overwatch and Smash Ultimate team there. I also play football, and I enjoy playing Ultimate Frisbee as well.
Wow, how do you have time for all that?
I have no idea.
You just gotta prioritize, right?
Yeah.
So how long have you been playing Overwatch and Smash, you said?
Overwatch, I started playing the summer before I came to Cornell, which was in 2019. And since then, I've gone from bronze to Masters ranking just by being on the team. And Smash, I started when the game first came out, but I haven't played the game competitively until around the end of last year.
And what made you want to start competing?
At the time, our esports coach, we just started getting into like big tournaments and stuff. And so we went to a tournament where one of the PGR, one of the top 50 players in the world, was appearing, and we played him, and it was not pretty. It was, we got stomped into the dirt. And so that I didn't like that. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna get better. I'm gonna play better, and I'm gonna figure out how to beat someone like that, because that was not fun.
And what have you done to get better at the game? Like, what kind of strategies do you use?
We have weekly practices. We have Monday, Thursday, and Friday. We practice. I play by myself, of course. I go to tournaments. And from these tournaments against good players, I take the film that I get and I VOD review it, learn what I could have done better, and figure out things like positioning, usage of abilities, that type of thing.
So, what do you think about your team? How does it feel to be a part of an esports team? And do you guys all get along? Are you guys friends?
Oh yeah, it's fantastic. We like if we're all in the room together, we're just joking around. Which sometimes makes it hard to practice because it's very hard. It's hard to get serious when it's really goofy like that. But I love being on the team. It's like one of the reasons I stayed on the esports team, because we had a director change. Despite the director change was because I just love the team.
That's really good. You guys support each other and all that. That's awesome. You said you've gone to competitions and stuff. Well, how often do you think you game a week? How many hours do you think you play a week?
Maybe over 24, maybe 30 hours. It's a lot of time.
You play Smash and Overwatch. Which one do you like better and why?
I like Smash better. One, fighting games have always been my thing before shooters, so that's part of it. And I'm much better at Smash than I am at Overwatch. Overwatch is more of a team-based game, so your individual performance matters a lot less. But Smash, everything that you do, it's all on you, so you can always improve on that.
And I know you've been to competitions and stuff before, but do you still get nervous when you're about to compete, or are you pretty confident?
Oh man. Yeah, I get nervous still. It depends though. I usually have music playing, calm my nerves, but especially if I'm going against a player who I know is very high ranked, very well known, very good. In tense situations, I just get nervous, and it doesn't go well if that happens. But yeah, I still get nervous.
Hello and welcome back, Overwatch fans. A little bit of post-game interview action coming at you. Bergen Community College falls in 3 to a Bryant and Stratton squad that proved why they took those dubs last season. FBI Tugboat here with my man Dividing by 0, and we got Krim, the tank over here from Bryant and Stratton, on the call. Krim, you with us?
I'm right here.
I'm sorry?
I'm right here.
Gotcha. There you go. Sorry, couldn't quite hear
is.
you. There you go. There's the voice of a champion. There's the voice of a tank that just won a game, right, Krim?
Yes, sir.
There you go. There you go. Dividing, take it away, please, sir.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited to be able to talk to you because I feel like Bryant and Stratton has really been one of the breakout teams in collegiate Overwatch so far this fall. You guys coming in top 4 in the NACE final showdown, and then coming out just as strong in NJCAAE as you did this time last year. So I want to hear straight from you. Why do you think Bryant and Stratton has so much success compared to all the other community colleges?
Man, like the players over here at Bryant and Stratton, I feel like we just connect. Like I feel like we're all really good players. We can all like play off each other very well. We're practicing a lot, trying to be the best.
Yeah, and you are succeeding so far. When it comes to your guys' goal this season as a team, what would you say? Where would you want to end up by the end of the year?
I mean, like, what other than winners? Like, we're here to win. We're here to like play our best, of course. We just want to win.
Yeah,
doing a lot of that so far.
Winning
Oh yeah,
mentality,
we're doing
right?
great.
Winning mentality.
Proud of my team.
Love it. Love it. Winner's mentality over there here for Krim. A couple questions right here. You played a laundry list of different tanks here across these 3 maps. Obviously, geographically different, so the change does obviously make a lot of sense. I want to ask you what you felt most comfortable on across these 3 maps. That was Lijiang, New Queen Street, and Kings Row.
I feel like I was really feeling Orisa. Orisa just feels very underratedly strong in this current meta. Just running over teams, going quick.
Running over teams, you definitely did. Those javelins rarely missed. Rarely missed. Last question here before we get you on out of here. I just want to ask: is there any you said the victory, the W, the number 1 is all that your team is paying attention to within the NJCAA season. Now, obviously, you're not going to get there without any qualms, right? Is there any one team that you're really looking forward to, or maybe a little bit pensive about playing?
I'm gonna be completely honest. I don't think so. I think we're doing really good. I think we have a great shot at winning this whole thing.
Okay. So follow-up question. Who's going to be the first to take a map off of Brighton and Stratton? Who's going to be the first to take a map off the Bobcats?
Nobody.
There you go. That's what I was
There it
looking
is.
for. The undefeated prediction here coming in from Krim. Absolute confidence. Absolute confidence. Love to hear it. Love to hear it. Before we get shut out of here and get some other games, that's League of Legends, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard, Rocket League, 10 and 11 p.m. Eastern Standard. I want to ask you, Krim, if you have any shout-outs.
Shout out the entire Brighton and Stratton team. You know, all the players here. We're all family. We all have fun. We're all here to play Overwatch.
There you go. There you go. Well-connected community of a team over there at Brighton and Stratton, and you guys just saw what they were able to do here today. Once again, Krim, I want you to thank you for coming on in and give us a minute of your time after the game.
Thank you.
Not a problem. Not a problem. FBI Tugboat and Dividing by 0 over here after a pretty clean Brighton and Stratton victory over the side of Bergen Community College. With that, unless you have anything else to add, excuse me, there, Dividing by 0, I believe we've reached my least favorite part of any broadcast. That, of course, is the end for our Overwatch segment. Once again, that's League of Legends, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard, Rocket League, 10 and 11 p.m. Eastern Standard. Dividing, anything else to add, sir?
Nah, just had a great time as always, and really looking forward to seeing how this NJCAA season progressive. We are only getting started, and we got a ton more games. And of course, I do of course have to add on here. Hey, shout out to the South qualifier that's going on, the CECC Southern qualifier that's going on this weekend on all Esports U related Twitch channels. Is going to be a ton of fun. Some of the best teams in the southern region going head to head to earn a spot at that national LAN at the end of the year. You better be watching. It's going to be a good time.
Oh, yes, you definitely will be. Before we close on out here, I want to give a shout out to the people that make this possible. That is our production staff here today at Esports U. Dividing and I are just two crazy guys screaming about esports within our bedrooms without our production staff. So we do appreciate that, and then making our jobs as casters just so much easier. Until League of Legends, 8 o'clock, that's about 2 hours from right now, guys. We'll be back with you then.
That's natural, though. Are there any specific teams or schools that your team kind of watches out for, or that you really want to beat?
Iowa State, their team is crazy. So they have most of the top ranking players in Iowa. So those guys they have a big target on their backs.
Can you tell me a little bit about what you think about CECC, and do you think your team will go to Atlanta?
Currently, our team we're going over a massive overhaul because we're down a lot of players due to transfers and other things, but it's still possible. I think we can do it.
Okay, yeah, we hope to see you there. Backtracking a little bit, what are you studying in school? What's your major?
Biochemistry.
Okay. Jeez, you do it all. What the heck? What do you plan to do with biochemistry? And do you ever see any overlap between what you're learning in school and esports?
My initial plans were to possibly go into medicine, but I'm leaning more towards biochemical research. So I don't know if that overlaps somehow, but if it can, that'd be great.
Would you ever want to be an esports coach?
Of course. It's so fun. It's so fun.
Yeah, when you're not doing medicine and you find time between football and the ultimate frisbee, maybe you can be an esports coach.
I'll find time to do it all, I guess.
Yeah. Are there any players on your team that stick out to you, whether it be a success story, their growth, or even yourself, that you want to talk about?
Let's see. Well, of course, myself is a good success story, I guess. Because when I joined the Smash and Overwatch team in 2019, I was garbage. Like, it was bad. Like I said earlier, I was bronze rank in Overwatch, which lowest possible rank. It's just